Hi students. So in this tutorial I will show you the different kind of chair design, how to make it in polygon modeling. So first of all what I did, so I imported the reference image from outside and attached. I taken a material and I drag and drop to the planer and then I logged it in layer. Okay, so I taken the same reference, the image reference from the output folder, and so I taken a box and I'm increasing the length with the segment from starting itself. Then I am going to convert the box into a polygon. So right now I am making the shape and it starts from the top itself. In the previous tutorial, I showed the different kind of models in polygon itself. But so in this tutorial, you will find out another creating a chair design. So only one thing in the polygon modeling, you need to be careful when you're moving the vertex or when you're moving the edges. So once you make it proper, the moving vertex with the proper axis, then the modeling will be a good, I think. Otherwise, what will happen? So it will select it some other vertex and in the background portion will get any problems. So those kind of problem you will face. So once you're not selecting the vertex and edges properly. So here what I did, I just make the one object into other and the help of mirror object, and I use the instance in the sense of whatever I'm doing the changes in x axis, the same thing happens in the minus x axis. Okay, I'm extruding down here. The only one thing, you need to get the shape. So moving the vertex and creating in between lines. And creating in between lines. Okay, so you got the better shape. When you in the left mouse button, you will find out the nose toggle. You'll find out the smooth shape. Select one edge and shift and select other edges. Then, so what will happen? The surrounded edges selected at a time. Shift and select to the with some issues, otherwise you will find out, sorry, you can click in once, then you'll possible to create in between lines. In the previous tutorial, I explained some other kind of a sofa model. So on that I showed some pillows and creating some sharp edges in between, how to make the smooth shape in the edges and how to make the shapes when you're doing the changes in polygon modeling, then making a smooth shape in nerves toggle. So that you understand, in the previous tutorial I explained and I showed you in 3ds Max 2019 software. So this is the better way of making the polygon design. So you're working with the 50%, an object in x-axis, another the minus axis. Whatever you do the changes in x-axis, the similar thing it happens in a minus x-axis. So no need to work the complete object every time. So what I do, I will copy the object to the setting portion. So sometimes you can duplicate to the similar object, whatever you did. If you got the similar kind of a shapes, okay. So the modeling is depend on the practice. How you do the lot more practices, then it will be improve your modeling, creating the different kind of a modeling. So it depend on the practice, how many hours you will spend for the practice session. So then how you use the different kind of a techniques to create different kind of a models. So then only you can move forward through the texturing and then the lighting and rendering portion. Modeling is the most important part in this thing, architectural and interior design. So if you're a good modeler, then so you won't difficult to make and you won't get the difficult to apply the textures. Also for the lighting, and lighting may be some other complicated things. Maybe you need to understand how the environmental affects the daylight and the night light and all other lighting effects. For example, once the light passes, the sunlight passes through window, how the shadows, the shadow effects will be there. So those things you need to understand. So this is the best way of doing the polygon modeling. The one thing, the moving the vertexes, and you need the patience to get the better output or the better shape. So this is the bottom portion, so I'm moving the vertex. So the advanced modeling techniques means you need a perfect modeling. So whatever right now we are doing the detailing part. So the advanced level modeling, it's depend on how you make the modeling 100%. So without doing any mistakes, you got the better 100% result or more than 99%. Then, so we called the modeling you did in advanced level. It's depend on the practice itself. So you need to move the vertex patiently. So maybe sometime you need to move the vertex one by one, or you need to move the edges one by one. Those things, it will improve the quality of a design. And so right now I am doing in polygon itself. And when you go for the leg portion, that standing is there. So that time that portion I will make it in curve itself. So for that we have an easier option to make it the proper shape. So here I taken a box to create that shape. So the similar way, so you can take it the reference from the Google and you can try it out. So right now, so we are taking the reference from Google and working it. So you can use your creative skills. So not only, so we are not only doing this thing, the copy paste, same thing as per the reference. You can add some creative skills if you have. Maybe most of the designers, they will use some creative techniques from their own to create different kind of a models, or in a lighting portion, or in a texturing portion, or in a color combinations. So in all these cases, so we are not making the similar kind of things as per we taking the reference from Google. So we are doing, instead of we are doing some creative skills we apply. And this similar technique, so how to make the smooth shape in the edge of any kind of shapes you made in box. So for that, so you need to click on the surrounded edges first. Then there is an option name called chamfer. So that is the best option to make the sharp edge into a smooth edge, or creating the lines, smooth lines in the edge. So the modeling is mainly using for the technical things. The practice is depend on, so how depend on, so how you will use your techniques to create different kind of models. It depends on you. So we are not using the similar techniques to every 3D models. The different kind of techniques we use to finalize our model, a perfect shape or a perfect design. So I'm moving the vertex slowly because I need to make those places is to be perfect. Okay, so I hope you're understanding the skills. You understand how the changes it happens when we are moving the vertex or when we're creating the lines in between. So those things you understand better, I think so. These are the technical things, but you understand better means you can make it easier. So I'm right now whatever I'm doing the design is a sitting portion. Those things. So if we talking about listing the 3ds Max, so is mainly using those architectural and interior design, but also using for the gaming design purpose. For the if we're talking about the gaming design, they will use some other good techniques to create a different kind of car modeling or any kind of modeling related to the gaming design. But we don't need that much of a high mesh modeling if we're talking about the interior and exterior design. So everything, so it start from a simple box, then increasing the lines, moving the vertex, then you're getting the shapes. So the beginners is the better practice to understand and practice. So instead of so while working in mouse toggle, so you will find out the smooth shape. So instead of in without smooth, I mean without mouse toggle. Also there is another techniques. So you can in modifier list you will find out one of the option name called Turbosmooth. So you can convert your polygon into Turbosmooth means it will uh, increase the high mesh compared to the nubs toggle. It will make double of nubs toggle means the mesh is high. So you can use it that technique also. So still I have the pending portion is to create the cylindrical shape of So for that I will use the curve techniques, the spline technique I will use it. So I'm converting those spline into a polygon. See, first of all, I'm taking the curve and please confirm in initial and drag type as a smooth. Then I'm creating the curves. In curves, you can duplicate the curve, you can attach or detach the curves, or you can weld it the curve. Also, you can modify the weld. I mean, for example, in curves, the corner means you will find out the sharper edge. If you need the smoother or a curve kind of shape means you need to modify the corner into a bezier. So that you will find out better. So in this tutorial. So no need to work with the complete one. So work it up to 50%. So you can use it in the mirror option and take it as an instance. So instance, it is better one. Also move the move the vertex almost center of an object. That is easier to make it. So what I will do, so I created one more curve, then I'm attaching to the curve to other side, then I'm selecting the milled vertex. What I will do first means I will fuse the vertexes first, then I will do the weld vertexes. So I will select those two vertex and I'll make it fuse vertex means it will make the two vertexes near, and weld vertex it will attach those two vertexes. So first of all you have to fuse the vertex, then click on the weld vertex. Okay, so right now you got clear, those two vertexes got merged. So then the similar technique, you need to copy the curve into other side. Okay, so I created one more curve and copying the curve into another side. Then I will do the similar technique. I will attach the vertex. Sorry, I'm attaching the curve into other curve. Then I will select those two vertexes. The similar way, the similar I did technique, and so you can, once you weld the vertex, After welding the vertexes, maybe you will find out some smoother shape. So you can convert those vertex into a corner. Then those vertexes you get sharper. Then those vertexes you get sharper. Okay, I'm saving the files right now. So you can better one, you can save it when you're working. So without saving a file, don't work it. So if you're working with the big file, so if you're not saved means in between the file, in between any some other mistakes or any other error, if the Mac software close means, so you will lose the file. So that is what you need to save it the file, and every time you need to click on the control F, means it automatically the file saves. So if you are doing any file, you need to save it. If you're working with the project or if you're working with a good model, you need to save the files first. Okay, right now you got the better shape here with the curve. So next what I will do, there is a option in curve option, enable render in viewport. So those two options you need to click on. Then there is an option thickness. You need to increase the thickness line. Then the curve automatically convert into a cylindrical shape. See, you got it, I think. So once you can increase how much you need to get that shape. So still one more thing left. You need to make it one more line. So in the bottom to make those shape properly. So for that, I will take one more line here. So enable in render and enable in viewports. Those two options should be on when you converting a normal curve into a poly or any other shape. What you need to do, you need to click off those two options first. The similar way to this also. Then you need to attach. You need to use the previous techniques. What I done previously, attaching. Okay, so then what you have to do, you need to click on those vertexes, use vertexes, then click on those two vertexes, weld vertexes. Okay, you got clear. So this is the best way to create a different kind of designs related to chair, sofa, or any other different kind of a designs. So this is the creating those like portion in the help of curve is the best option, I think. So you can modify. Once you create the line, you can modify with any kind of shapes. So next, the remaining part is the one thing. So you need to attach the polygon to other side. What you made previously with the x and minus x, or y or minus x and minus y, z or minus z. So what you need to do, you need to attach those two objects together. Then you need to weld it. The in between the vertex, you need to weld. So one more. So the portion is left. That is what I'm taking the box and increasing the lines how much you need. And one more thing, there is an option name called soft selection. For example, if you need one vertex and also the surrounded the vertex you need to move together, then there is an option name called soft selection. So if you click any vertex, so you can increase the surrounded vertexes to select. So then you can move it any kind of vertexes, surrounded vertex smoothly. So in some other tutorial, I will show you that technique also. And one more thing, in the texturing, if we're talking about the texturing, so we need to do a model. So according to the texture, sometime so you will get with the low poly in the help of texturing, so you will get the better output. But in some cases, you need high mesh. You will get the better output in rendering in high mesh. So those techniques I will explain and I will show you in some other tutorial related to the texturing part. But here, so those tutorial I'm making previously and right now whatever I'm doing the tutorials, so that will relate to the polygon modeling. And one more thing, so if you're getting any problem while working in viewport, so you can hide the grid line. So the remaining part is attached to those two objects in mirror. While attaching, just copy it. So, and one more thing, you need to make the pivot is center of an object, not center. So you need to make almost middle of that object. And so once you welding the vertexes in between vertexes, and you need to be very careful. Also, check out the option box. Sometimes you need more values to weld. Okay, so you need to while merging the vertexes, you need to be very careful. So right now it's not welded because so you can find out some in between some holes is there. So you need to first of all you need to scale the vertexes together. Then there is an option name called welding option box. So right now you can check it. So the weld option properly applied to the mid vertices. So the similar way, so I am doing to this object also. Okay, the similar technique, attaching to other object and selecting in between the vertices and scaling the vertices is almost right. Then selecting weld option and increase how much you need the mid vertices. So it's almost going to finish the model, but still there is some more few details you need to add. You need to merge it, the object to the other side. Okay, the merging option is almost done. So maybe you finalize the object, but still you can add some more details. And I think so you got the techniques to how to make those sharp edges into a smooth. So those options is much important in most of the 3D models related to the interior and exterior design. So those things you will understand slowly. So once you follow the tutorials step by step, and once you follow the tutorial. And one more thing, the better thing in creating curve is you can move it. So you can modify the vertexes. You won't get any problems. So once you